morning, beautiful people. It is Tuesday, the day before the holiday, the day before the 4th of July. So my guest today is going to be Amandla. She's coming on, and so she'll be here in a minute. I'm sorry, Raven Amandla Blake, petite sommelier and love fed, will be here in a little while. She's bringing me some coffee from Starbucks, so she's just down the street. So she's gonna come on and talk about. She has an event coming up on Saturday, I believe, and so we're gonna talk about that, and we're gonna talk about love fed. We're gonna talk about, just her life a little bit. I talk to her all the time, but I'm happy to have her here because I think she's quite interesting. These young people these days, they're doing so many cool, interesting things. And I'm so happy to sort of bear witness to it. So she'll be on in a minute. I just left St. Martin de Porres School. I was invited by the Links to be a speaker over there this morning to their children. They're not out of school yet. They're about to get out of school. So I went over and took some inner cities. They had not seen the inner cities over there. So I'm going to make sure papers get dropped off on the regular. And then I had a bunch of the kids. I assigned them to tell me a summer story, whatever they're doing this summer, and I will run it in the inner city. So I'm excited. And so their teachers will back me up, and their principal will back me up, and it'll all be backed up, and I'll have some new young writers at my disposal. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they come up with. I know they're going to find it challenging, but I don't care. I want it to be challenging. They don't even know how their brains are going to be used. I just swoop in and sprinkles fairy dust, literary fairy dust everywhere, and voila, writers. So that's my story. I was at the trainer this morning, and my trainer, Robert Fulton, took a break, gave me a little bit of a break today, which is unusual, but he did. And so if you all are looking for a good trainer, he is one to get with. He is a consummate professional, and he knows his stuff. And he is whipping this old dog into shape in ways that I didn't think I could get in shape. So it's taking a little while, but I'm gonna stay at it. Plus, I like seeing him every morning, so it's nice. It's nice. So as I wait for my coffee, my favorite people, Gary Winfield and Robin Porter, are down at the border in San Diego doing the protest, and it is something to behold when they do their live feeds from San Diego. It is something to behold. Also today, 9 months ago, my soror Odell Montgomery Cooper had an aneurysm, and it didn't look good. The prognosis was not good. But she is well and thriving and up and about and living life golden. So I am happy to sort of see that in my news feed. Seriously, I'm very happy to see that in my news feed. My daughter Brianna is home. I got to catch up with her so I can snap a picture with her short hairdo, looking like a world person. So she looks Indian by way of Puerto Rico, by way of the DR, by way of questionable heritage. So, yeah, that's where we are. So, so I'm not going to be here. Of course, no one will be around for the 4th of July, but I'm going to take Thursday off too, because if I do what I say I'm going to do on Wednesday, I'll be in no shape to be here on Thursday. FYI, public service announcement. And so I'll take Thursday to sleep in. So the inner city will be put to rest sometime today, I think, or tomorrow morning, but I won't be around to see it. But I'll get all my stuff in today. And the paper will go out. The paper will hit the streets. I'm happy about that. And then Friday, Criminal Justice Insider. So check us out. We'll be back on that tap. Benita is in India. I dropped off Dr. Deco. She is back in Atlanta. Let's see. I've got all my friends are from all over the daggone world. Let me tell you. So Benita's been posting beautiful pictures of India. She's up in the far hills today or something or other. and the food looks amazing. I was like, it just looks, you know what I mean? It looks like you imagine India to look mystical and magical, and just, you know, just, I don't want to say exotic, but exotic. I'm not talking about the people. I'm talking about just the scenery and the way food has been presented. I don't know if my friend Bobby is back from Italy. She hasn't called me yet, so as soon as she calls me, we'll make a date and we'll hang out, and I'll hear all about Italia and how much fun she had. I hope she had a good time. It looked like they were having a good time, so we'll see. So that's my squad. My squad is all over the place. Everybody's everywhere doing their thing. Nice piece, Markeisha Ricks, on Carla Morrison. Carla Morrison is our girl. She really is our girl. I don't know anybody finer than her around pulling off events. She really is good at that. And the Sisters of Today and Tomorrow is a rich organization. And whatever she wants me to do, I am so there. She wants me to do something. If she just wants me to carry cans of water, I'm there. I'm doing it. So, and then my girl Ife is cooking up some arts kinds of things. So I'm excited. I was at my Arts Council orientation with Dan Fitzmaurice, who I adore, and the new board members, who I'm excited to get to know. So I feel like summer hasn't started, right? The weather has been so janky, but we're in summer, and I'm trying to hold on to every kernel of it as best I can, because I feel like it'll all go by so fast in a blink of an eye. And you know what? I've got some upcoming changes to my life, which I'm actually looking forward to. So surrendering to what is and what will be. That's where I'm at. So I'm excited about that. And that's where I'm at. So Michelle Turner's birthday is coming up, so we're going to, squad up for that. A friend of mine got me some tickets to the National Museum of African American History or African American Culture. And that's in September, so I can't wait. Let's see. I'm going to Paris, I think. I hope. I don't have any money, so if anybody wants to fund me to go to Paris, feel free. I can do the show from Paris. Harry, we could do the show from Paris, can't we? All right. Somebody funds me, I could do the show from Paris. I would love to do it. And then my trainer said he'd go to Paris would be next September. I said, you coming this September? He's like, oh no, Babz, I thought you were talking about next September. I was like, okay, next September. I was like, well, I already go, and then when we go together, I got all these good friends who I could just hang out with. And my love Andrew is still in Guatemala playing tennis. So he's in Guatemala playing tennis. So white. But he's good, and he's having a good time, and he is immersing himself in the culture and the language of Guatemala. And I miss him, so he'll be back soon. And that's where we are. That's my life in paradise. Now for the other stuff. I cannot believe this president is picking Supreme Court. But I don't want to talk about that because here's Raven. Come on in, girl. Hey. Hand me my coffee. As long as it's black. You look cute. Why do you always look so cute? Oh my God, this girl, she's like, go ahead and say it. I wake up like that. Get in the black seat. Raven is here with this very expensive Starbucks coffee. It was a car note. You can't get out of Starbucks for less than 50. I think she's up. Are you up? She's up.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
You look so radiant and beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you for this coffee.
Yeah. I was like, oh, might as well get me one.
I know, right? Get you some coffee, girl. I don't know if they're not a sponsor, so I don't know if I want to shout them out.
No.
But they could be a sponsor.
I mean,
You know.
after they did that training and everything.
They're more responsive to the to the people. What? And they brought in a sister, a well-known sister of attorney
Yes.
who handles diversity.
Mm-hmm.
So
I saw that.
I'm like, okay, we looking at you, Starbucks. We see you. So what's new, girl?
Nothing much other than
All the 50
a lot.
all the 50 million things. I see on Facebook planting gardens all over town. I can't go nowhere and somebody be like, oh yeah, Love Fed. I was like, are they the only ones planting gardens? Ain't nobody got a garden unless you go to Love Fed. I love it.
Yeah, it's been really great so far this summer, and I've just been trying to get this event on for Saturday, the Rosé Soiree.
The Rosé Soiree. Now listen, people, if you don't know your wines, this would be a good time for you to come learn some other wine other than Moscato. And y'all know who I'm talking to and about. All you Moscato drinkers, put it down, step away, and come to the Rosé Soiree on Saturday. What time?
It's going to be from 1 to 4 p.m.
And how do people, can they come, can they bring their money to the gate, or what do they do?
No.
You got to go online, right?
Yes.
Because it's a secret.
Go online. There's for anybody who has a pen and paper or wants to put it down in your iPhone notes or something. The URL is Wine Salon Soiree. So that's SOIREE .splashthat.com. And that's to RSVP. That's not, but you have to RSVP in order to do the ticket purchase and then get the location, because people ain't gonna be popping up like that.
Yeah, because these ain't the old days of a house party. People walking by talking about, oh, house party, I'm in.
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh yeah. I
Nope.
know.
Nope. You got to come right.
Yeah. So we're gonna have a few different rosés. Just because summertime, people. Honestly, I drink rosé all year round.
I'm sorry, that's called summer water.
See.
See,
Like you one of the people that.
Yes, we one of the old dog says, "Ooh, that's our summer water. We're gonna drink summer water all summer."
There's gonna be rosé, and then the pairing. So there's gonna be like little hors d'oeuvres to pair with them, and I'm gonna just talk about the wines, like how rosé is made, because a lot of people don't know, and just like the different types of rosé, and then we're gonna get into the pairings. It's gonna be a grand old time.
I'm looking
because we're gonna
forward
be
to that.
outside too, so it's gonna be like nice little kickback.
So when you RSVP to
Mhm.
the thing, make sure you need to bring your own chairs and blankets.
Yes,
Which will
is
be
huge.
nice, which will be fun.
Yeah, exactly. So you and your guests bring chairs and blankets, and it's just gonna be, a little picnicky vibe. But I don't know, was it like a classy picnic?
Yeah, bougie picnic. Bougie. It's gonna be bougie. Might as well just put
and
it out
it's
there.
only
Get people
$15.
used to saying it.
Right.
$15.
$15. You ain't gonna come across an event like this for $15. So y'all better come through.
So Lauren, so I'm Raven Amandla. I'm trying to combine them. So Raven, tell us how you come to this wine game.
I got into the wine industry because
I want people to trust that you know what the hell you're talking about when you say, I got 4 or 5 bottles of rosé, and this is why I chose these.
Right. I had been a few years ago. I'd been studying hospitality management at Syracuse, and while I was there, my mom being my mom, she was talking about me.
Ife Michel Gardin. The arts guru.
For anybody who doesn't know.
Who has returned from points beyond.
And she had met a sommelier who was a black woman, and she was working in New York at the time, the infamous Lee Campbell. She's super dope, still killing the game. And she had put me in contact with her. And honestly, even being in a hospitality program, they don't often highlight things within the industry that there's like event planning track, and then there's like a restaurant management track or something, and then like strictly culinary oftentimes, but not anything beverage management, like being a brewmaster or winemaker or anything like that. So I was just like, what? Oh, she does what? And then I was like actually of legal age by then, so like I had just turned 21. I was like, hold up.
Wait,
Ain't nobody telling me just give me a career
wait,
path.
I could make some money on this.
Basically. And so I was getting into wine and in that side of the industry that's more, beverage focused, and it was really cool to meet her and know that somebody was doing that, because representation out here matters.
Yes.
So I was like, hey, I want to do this too, and that was like how it started. And then the summer, my junior year going into my senior year, I interned at a winery, Bedell Cellars in Long Island, and that was my first wine job. Yeah. So I was there in the tasting room, like pouring for people and just like doing like more front of house service. And then I was invited back there after I graduated in 2013 to do harvest internship as well with Rich Olson Harvick, which is also one of my like favorite and go-to people in the wine industry who were like really supporting me, and he's like one of my good friends still. And that internship was amazing. Honestly, if I wasn't doing what I would be doing now, I'd probably be into winemaking. But that's still a possibility.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it's not
the table.
Yeah, like you can do anything.
Yeah, I mean, and so after that first summer, after I graduated, I went to wine retail, then did that internship, went into New York, and then worked for Wine Enthusiast magazine as an assistant tasting coordinator. Then went back to retail, moved back to New Haven, and more like wine retail and stuff like that. And yeah, and that was like, that's been like 7 years now.
So, have more people of color showed up since you've stepped into this? Have you noticed or seen any other people of color?
I've seen more. And you said women of color too. I'm like, I've seen more, but I feel like anything else that's, like, because the industry is very, predominantly still like white male.
Because I looked at taking the course, because I think there's 2 places in the world where you can get, I don't know, certified or some old thing.
Yeah, and
but I couldn't get to New York. I can't get to New York like that to do it. And there's nothing local, right?
Yeah. Local as far as
learning
just,
to become a sommelier.
Oh
like,
yeah, no. Any programs like that? Not
which
that
is
I know.
odd,
Nope.
but there's nothing.
I know. Yeah, like other than some culinary schools locally that offer it to the students.
Yeah.
Because it's a part of their course. Like, not really.
But standalone. But you can in New York. And I looked at them and I was in conversation with them. But when you have young kids, it's hard to sort of do it. That's why I so admire you doing this, level of study and commitment now. And then you could just grow it into whatever you want.
Right. Because I got and there's a whole bunch of different organizations and certifications that you can get. One of the who I have my certification through is the largest wine education-based program in the world, and or beverage. Now they also do spirits. I don't know for beverage, but specifically wine. It's Wine and Spirits Education Trust.
Yes.
And so I had to commute, and they do have different sites throughout like North America and Europe, but I had to go into New York, commute into New York every week while I was doing those courses. When I did it when I was here, because I did, there's 4 different levels, and I was doing level 2 while I was still living in New York, and now I did level 3 while I was in Connecticut, so that was a little commute, but that was fine. It was cool.
So Raymond, tell me, what is it about wine that you find appealing? This industry. Tell me about the industry.
I think what's most appealing to me, and that's been kept me in it for so long, especially, is that there's just like a bottomless pit of what you can learn about it, and that's what makes it fun. And there's so many things like food that connects us when it comes to like food and beverage, and wine is definitely one of those things historically. And there's never enough that you can learn about it and you can travel with it. And that's always been my number one thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I want to have a job where I can also travel. So how can I work this out? How can we work this out?
So when you were in school and you were studying hospitality management and all that kind of stuff, what was your first? What did you think you were going to do?
I really went.
Get closer to the. Harry? Okay, keep talking. I think it might just need a little twist.
A little twist.
Harry, our mic went out.
Can you hear me though?
Nope, I can't hear you at all. Harry? I don't know where Harry went.
Harry, you did your break. Come on.
Where is Harry? I can't. All right, you know what? I'm going to get up and fix it.
All right. You know what to do. Just keep talking.
Harry! Oh, my God. Like, we just don't have.
Hello? Hello? Okay.
Can you hear?
Yeah.
hear
Okay.
yourself?
I'm back on. Now I see you do the trick. Maybe I can do it next time.
That's all right. It's just that, get so much. I know, and this is like radio madness. Like when you have to like, when the host has to get up and go do technical stuff because the engineer is nowhere to be found. I don't know where Harry went. I didn't see him go. So.
I didn't even see him walk out the door, so I'm confused. I was like, okay, all right. Hiding some places.
Listen, this is the joy and pleasure of live radio. That's all I'm gonna say. You don't get this anywhere else.
Nope, that's for sure.
You don't get this level of realness anywhere else. All right, so I was asking you, Raven, what did you think you wanted to do when you went off to to pursue higher education? When you went off to college, what did you think you wanted to do?
I had no idea. Like most people, like a lot of people actually, we think people go to college and they know what they want, but of course, not a lot of us do. But I originally was in communications, actually.
Slide your mic back so we can see your pretty face.
Okay.
Just a little,
Like
not
this?
too far back.
Okay.
But like drop it down a little bit so we could see you.
Okay.
Because I have, yeah, okay.
Is it good?
Nope.
There
Yeah,
we go.
there you go.
Oh, not
And then
my
now
coffee
turn
over.
it, don't
Like
knock
that?
your coffee over. Now turn it towards you so it could directly, a little bit.
A little bit like,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, that's better.
That works? Okay. So yeah, I started in a communications major.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And then because I thought I wanted to do PR, and then I was like, yeah.
Like, I'm not helping these crying babies.
I don't want to do PR. So and then because my mom, a famous showgirl, has long been in arts related things all my life, and I had been at a lot of arts programs too as an adolescent or whatever, and I was passionate about theater, and I was interested in transferring into the theater program. But like most art programs, period, you have to have a portfolio before you even. So I didn't have a portfolio, so that wasn't. I was like, I ain't leaving school to get experience. I'm already here. I'm not leaving.
So we're gonna make this work. I'll make this work.
And then I discovered that we actually had a hospitality department at Syracuse, and I was like, okay, maybe like events planning, because I don't know, just trying to like.
And that makes sense because it's a whole lot of creativity.
Right.
It's a whole lot of activity, and you can grow it or whatever to your liking.
Right.
There's no one thing.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Right. Events planning can be like anything you make it. So I decided to transfer into hospitality management, and then I really enjoyed it, and we had a little cafe on campus, and we had like few intro culinary classes, and then we managed the cafe, and I guess I was still trying to figure out what I wanted to do within hospitality until I discovered wine. Just even specifically like working in wine, as a sommelier, it was like a thing. I was like, okay, this sounds like sounds like something that could be fun, fun, definitely interesting, and something worthwhile as far as like diving into as a career. And ever since, I've just been like still fascinated all the time about the things that I learned. And there's you never know everything, that's for sure, and that definitely goes for anybody. But it's been fun.
That's good.
Yeah.
I like it. All right, so why the rosé soiree?
Rosé soiree.
Because I know we were trying to like do stuff with you for like a year, and we could not seem to.
Rosé soiree because I'm also currently enrolled into a culinary program at the Natural Gourmet Institute. So it's a plant-based, like wellness-based cooking chef training program. And so I'm kind of, I'm just filling that out. I want to do more events where I'm actually pairing my culinary skills that I'm learning from that program and, you know, matching it with my wine experience and bringing that to the table.
That's pretty damn good. That's very thoughtful.
Yeah. Because I was like, I've been in the wine industry for these many years. I'm about to apply this
Yeah.
to everything I do. And honestly, you know, being in New Haven, there aren't enough events where you can go to maybe where it's just like a fun wine event.
You're right. I think the only other one I went to was the AKAs threw one 2 years ago at the Stone place on Shelton Avenue.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a beautiful space, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was the one and only wine tasting I've gone to since.
Right.
Like a fancy thing,
Right.
like not showing up at somebody's liquor store and they got some wine out. You know what I mean? Like,
Right. You're like a fun thing and you want to do with your friends, and you know, it's a nice
Yeah.
atmosphere.
yes, they had a band, the whole thing. So I thought, you know, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm a big wine drinker, so
Right. And so I just want to be able to offer more events like that they're missing, that, you know, people will attend because of that reason, and also try out some culinary things as well.
So are you making some vegan things?
I will be making some vegan things.
Okay.
I'm also going to be thinking
I'm not
of-
vegan, but I play one on TV.
Yeah. I call myself a flexitarian.
A flexitarian.
People be like, "You vegan?" Especially since I'm in this program, and I'm like, "No."
Yeah, because everything is based, right?
Yeah.
Like even the
He did leave.
Harry, you left. We had technical problems. I had to fix him, Harry. We had all kind. Her mic went out. I had to get up and go fix it. We had dead air.
Look at me. We didn't even know you left.
I was like, "Where's Harry? We calling you?" Harry's like, "I go out the room for 2 seconds,
Right.
and these clowns tear up the studio." I was like, "Oh." So you do a lot of plant-based cooking. What did you find interesting about that? Because most people don't understand or know how vast and wide plant-based cooking can be.
Right.
People just think tofu. You know, when they think plant-based, they just think tofu and bean sprouts.
Yeah. Or they think like maybe because I don't even think Edge of the Woods has much of this, but if you maybe go into Whole Foods or if you're trying to get into eating more plant-based, if people go to meat alternatives, those new, so there's like the trend of the packaging products for people who want things that taste like meat but aren't.
Yeah. And then they're mad when they don't. I was like, okay, you know it's not meat, right?
Right.
I'm like, I don't care how good it is. And a lot of it is exceptionally good.
Right.
But you know you're not eating a 100% Angus grass-fed steak. You're just not.
Right.
But you're going to have some good black beans.
Right. Exactly. Like you're not actually gonna, I think in my program too, it's just like also there's so many things around eating more plant-based. So it's like think that mindset that people want to eat, I can't stand saying healthier, but like want to eat, you know, just generally more thoughtfully and intentionally, and for their well-being. And it's like just accept that whatever you're gonna eat is not meat. Like don't even look for the meat alternatives.
Exactly, Raven. Exactly.
But just look for other ways to make things, that plenty of what you already know, but just make it differently and just accept, you know, not everything's gonna taste like meat.
Yeah. And
Well,
that's how I roll. Well,
Mhm.
but I have a severe dairy allergy, so when I want cheesecake, I
Mhm.
want dairy-free cheesecake. But I do have the expectation of it to be creamy and smooth and yummy.
Mhm.
And I've had it. So
Mhm.
there are people out there who know how to do it and do it well, right?
One of my classmates actually made. Didn't I tell you this? I think I did. I don't know. I was like, who did I tell? But one of my classmates made a vegan flan, and it was really good.
Really? I've been looking for one of those.
It was
Now, I'm a
really
chef by
good.
trade, but I
Mhm.
don't like to cook like that no more.
Mhm.
So
the,
I'm always
home
looking,
chef.
I'm always looking for somebody to like do what I'm not going to do. I was like,
Mhm.
I don't cook. I started out cooking in restaurants and
Yeah.
that whole thing.
But it was delicious. I was like, this is like probably like I've actually never had vegan flan, but I was like, this is
I never had it
it was,
either,
like,
so I'd be
very
interested.
close to.
Was it very close?
I wouldn't honestly be. I think most people wouldn't be able to tell the difference, but and that's not with everything. It's not like
Fake out.
It's
like,
not gonna be exactly
Right.
the same. That's it.
but
And also,
they get damn close with these cheesecakes and
Right.
desserts and cupcakes.
I think when you were over my house though in March when I had the little party for my birthday, did you have some of that rum cake?
No.
It might have been gone by then. I had a class. We were making like vegan cakes.
Oh, maybe I did have some of that,
So-
and I thought it was really good.
I think you did. I could have
Yes.
swore you did.
Oh, yeah, because I wanted
and
more.
then
And I was
it
like,
had a bunch of rum up there.
yeah, girl.
Chocolate, banana, peanut butter rum.
See?
That was
And it just
a bunch
sounds
of
good.
things.
Right? Like that just sounds like, I don't care who you are, you want it.
Mhm.
You don't have to be like vegan or whatever. You just
Yeah.
good food is good food regardless of, I think,
Yeah.
what label you attach to it.
Mhm.
If you have some plant-based food that's yummy,
Yeah.
you just have some yummy plant-based food.
Right. And everything doesn't have to be a salad.
Right? Yes, that's the other misnomer.
Everything doesn't have to be a salad.
It doesn't have to be a salad, tofu, or sprouts. It can
No.
be.
No, because another one of my classmates and I were talking about, because she's actually vegan, and she was like, but I hate salads. Because more times than not.
Okay, she might be a little bit out of luck, but okay.
But like more times than not, when you're going, like if you're going to a store, if you're buying anything that, if you basically aren't making a salad that a restaurant made really well, or you're making at home, then they can be so basic and
Yeah.
just like lifeless. So
Yeah.
that's where more of that comes from. Because I was agreeing with her. I was just like, yeah, it's hard for me to actually like at home. And when I was growing up, my mom made a bunch of like bean salads, like really.
Oh, your mother made a killer salad like the other week. The other week we were over there.
Right. And they're not
it-
like just lettuce.
Like we damn near licked the bowl. It was so. I was like, this is salad. It ain't cake mix, but we just we're like, oh my god, this is a good
Right.
salad.
Right, exactly. You're like, this is good.
It's like,
You got some more?
what? I know. Make this again, And I don't. Sometimes salad is best when somebody else makes it too. I find.
Mhm.
Like if somebody else makes a salad, I'm like, oh, I really love it. If I make it, I'm like, oh, it's a salad.
Yeah.
So.
And just cooking vegetables properly. A lot of people.
Black folks is good for overcooking some vegetables. You know how we do,
I
Raven.
wasn't gonna say.
I know you wasn't gonna say it, but I can say it because I'm old enough to say it. We will overcook some collard
everything
greens
is dark.
and cabbage.
Everything's like dark green, if it's green anymore.
I'll be like, baby, you ain't got to put them greens on all day. They do not need 20-hour cooking. They do not.
You done cooked all the nutrients out. It's just like.
That is just. And then you salt them up. Like, no. You don't need to cook them.
Collards. That's what collards be. It's darker than meat.
I tell you, when I figured out that I could cook collards without cooking them all day, I was like, this is good.
Yeah.
Like, why are we? And cabbage, people frying it to death. Like, it doesn't require that. Just a little blanching.
You don't need to go there. You don't need to go
blanching,
there.
a little salt, pepper, and a little garlic. Good. You don't gotta pound these things. So yeah. So we do have that history of overcooking. I don't know. I think Jamaicans do that too. They overcook vegetables too. Although they would fight me. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Anybody calling you? You should be glad you don't got a number or people call in during your show.
Thank God Kay is in Jamaica, so she can't text me. But I'm like, no, some of these vegetables are overcooked. They don't got no snap to them.
Right. Right. So it's been interesting just learning alternatives as far as like just like proteins or just making.
Yes, because there'll be people who will tell you, you don't get enough proteins.
Yeah.
I was like, that's not true.
Yeah.
And you don't got to eat a whole 700 bag of beans, 700-pound bag.
Or only beans.
Or only beans.
You don't only have to have beans.
I'm like, you're not going to eat beans. No, you don't have to.
No.
So, all right. So that brings you here.
Mm-hmm.
Then you had the wherewithal to co-found Lovebabz.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, Lovebabz New Haven is
because it's on everybody's lips. Like everywhere I go, somebody's talking about.
We doing something right then.
I'm telling you. Everywhere I go, somebody is talking about this.
Yeah, it's a nonprofit organization that I started up with my friend Deshaun Harris, and
who makes the best these little shea butter thingies or whatever it is.
Yeah, Root
right?
Life.
He's the guy, right?
Shameless plug.
I'm sorry.
Root Life. Yes. He's also an entrepreneur, so he uses natural ingredients, natural and organic ingredients to make these like shea butters, and they're all like different scents and things like that.
They are
lovely. He busted those out at the little party.
At your part at the Lovebabz kickoff thing.
Yeah, and y'all
I couldn't have enough of them.
He didn't have enough on hand for everybody. Everybody is like, "Oh, this one smells."
I've been like rationing
the lavender and like all this. Yeah, it was really cool. So he basically has been running his own agriculturally driven and beauty products business. And he is an urban farmer with like I want to say it's a minimum of 8 years of experience farming in New Haven.
Where is he farming?
Right now at his house.
Really?
Yeah.
So do y'all go? So what do y'all do?
In community spaces that we're doing it in.
Because I've seen some of the community spaces. Because I used to be a big fan of the community gardens many years ago. Because I was part of that whole community garden movement, right?
Right.
In various neighborhoods, particularly one in my neighborhood, which we live in the same neighborhood. We live in Beaver Hill, and there was one on Carmel Street, which I loved so much.
On my street.
Right next door to your house, almost.
It was, and it's so disappointing.
It's disappointing to see that it's gone.
We cannot get it to be a garden again.
Yeah.
But
and we can't get it a garden again because the people that own it.
Yes.
We have to go over there and just make them an offer they can't refuse.
Right. That want to sell it for a retail or a commercial space on a residential street.
Like anybody buying that space, stop it.
Seriously.
Donate it to the community.
But with that being a issue that we were seeing, with just even getting more community gardens in New Haven, but there are a lot of community gardens in New Haven that are inactive. But just like seeing before the Armory Garden was there, and
so you mean there's a garden over at the Armory, like in our neighborhood?
Yes.
Where? I saw y'all over there. Where I
saw the pictures.
I saw the pictures, and I could not figure out where this was.
Yeah. It's on the corner of on the county side of Armory.
Okay.
Which is like a one-way street, so nobody. It's like 1 block. So, but yeah, you had to drive down county to see. Yeah. Really, because there's like a huge tree at Gulf Street, so I think it blocks a lot of it for people when they're driving by. But we have plenty of beds over there. This weekend we just built 2 compost bins.
So what are you gonna do with all that stuff, Raven? What happens with the vegetables and the fruits and the?
Right now, it's for anybody who comes and works in the garden. They just harvest it. It's for the community.
Wow.
And the only rule is literally that you have to work in the garden because you got to reap what you sow. Okay.
So now, do you provide oversight? Do you monitor? Like, do you go over there and be like, okay, we got too many peas that got to be picked or something?
When we have our days on Saturdays, which is also Lovebabz New Haven volunteer days from 10 to 12, we then that's when like people generally will harvest together if there's anything, and crop development, things like that will be addressed and see how things are coming in. But people are doing that all throughout the week too, because for people who garden there, we're just coming whenever and checking in on things and watering all the time.
Because I'm a fan of that stuff. Because, I serve on the board of Common Ground High School, which is an urban farm school in the middle of our great city. And so this concept is not new, because we harvest a lot of stuff, and it goes out to local restaurants and families, and there's the cost share thing and the whole thing. And so I'm a big fan of that. So that's what you're going to be spending your time doing. Getting people to be connected back to
what we've always been doing, really, is growing our own food, and empowering people through that process, because LoveFed does agricultural education, and then we do home farm installations.
So what do you mean home? Like if I say, hey, I want a raised garden in my yard or something, you come and help me with that?
Yes.
Seriously?
Yes.
I have a raised garden, but it's like overrun with strawberries and weeds.
Oh, you get strawberries though. Okay.
It's for the squirrels now.
They just take them. They don't even leave none.
But I did have a garden. I grew eggplant, and my eggplant was so beautiful, if I must say so myself. And I grew a lot of things. So and it wasn't hard, because at that time I had 2 children at Common Ground, and they wanted that. So I was like, all right. So we went, bought the stuff, and
nice.
And it was amazingly simple.
Yeah, it doesn't take much.
It doesn't take much,
no.
and the time commitment was minimum. You had to weed it, but minimum.
Weed it, water it, looking out for stuff. It doesn't really take as much time, I think, as people think it does. And then we do the agriculture education, which is through the volunteer days that we do, but also with our partnership with Concat. And today we started, or Daishawn is at Concat right now. He's starting the agricultural summer program.
So you're going to teach kids how to know, like, their food and vegetables don't come from the grocery store. They don't make them there. They just put them there. Right?
Yeah.
Because kids don't know where things come from.
They don't. So we did the after school program there, and now we're doing the summer program there as well. And they're now, since we were for weeks or 2 months, we've been doing the after school program. They have 5 beds, and we're gonna add more that are like just overflowing with things. So they're about to harvest. Really? They're harvesting this week. That's like the
cool.
number one thing that has to happen.
So what does that do for you, Raven? How do you feel? Tell me about your thoughts on this, because this is not I mean, you're a very young woman, and to be thinking about this sense of community through farming is so interesting. Yeah. So how is this all playing out in your spirit?
Really good, honestly. I mean, this is over the last few years, I've just been like I've been more interested in work around food justice, specifically, and I'm glad where I am now and starting LoveFed and co-founding LoveFed, because it just feels better, and it feels like having more of a connection and impact in the community, and for something that I think is important, definitely. So, because I'm definitely about and learning more about food justice even now, doing this work, because my work before this was mostly just hospitality, and so I'm getting back with the community and connecting with people again, and then and I'll also be bringing my culinary skills to the table, and teaching people how to cook with wellness. But this is just something I think has been important to me, living and being from this community, and really wanting just people to live better and live as healthy as they can be. But, oftentimes, obviously, just systematically, everything is against us. And for being in the hospitality industry, and then for Daishawn being an urban farmer, just food options and, lack of food, having the food insecurity problem in New Haven, and just food apartheid, basically. It would just it's always been one of those things that's been really obvious to us, one of the issues we wanted to tackle, because we think everybody should have the right to food and good food for them, and also just an environment that is healthy for them to live in as well, and that comes through doing things we feel like gardening and farming can help, because it's actually empowering people to grow their own food and reteaching them, because this is something that we've already known ancestrally, but like really bringing it back to view for some people, and to think about like how they can actually grow their own food for themselves and their family and not have to rely on other folk. But also it brings a community building aspect, because when you're doing something like that together, there are just so many things that can come from that for people, and opportunities, because eventually we would love to have this be the education be a training for people to get into, because we definitely need more like just people of color period in agricultural fields.
Absolutely.
I was just watching a documentary, and it was just like after post-emancipation proclamation, where black farmers accumulated around 15 million acres of land. That was just crazy to me. I was like, what? But where are those 15 million acres right now? Okay.
Well,
and that's just like the reality. That's just the reality. But with different things happening, as far as different programs popping up, and in different organizations trying to help to actually shift power within the realm of like the food system and agriculture, at least in the United States in some places, there will be more opportunities, and we want to prepare people for those opportunities that will be there too.
That's good thinking.
Yeah.
So listen, if y'all are interested, the Rose Soiree, a Bites and Booze special social.
Yes.
I'm liking that, girl. So y'all,
it's gonna be the first of many.
Yes, we're gonna keep the party rolling. Because I'm gonna get me some of that action too. I want to host something. I love it. So y'all need to go and RSVP and get your tickets. You can go up to their website and tell them again where they can find you.
The website is winesalonsoiree.splashthat.com. Soiree, SOIREE. And you RSVP there, and then once you RSVP, I'll send you ticket information. Once you get your ticket,
because we can't have everybody showing up at the cookout.
And once you get your ticket, then you will get the location, and a 21 and over only. Don't bring no kids.
Yeah, don't bring your kids. We love kids, but don't bring them.
We love them, but yes. And there will be wines, pairings. There will be a cocktail also for people. I know everybody ain't into wine, but maybe I got some supportive folk out there. I got a little cocktail for y'all. We're going to have a little happy hour at the end. And, it's going to be a good time.
It's going to be a great time. And I want people to come, and I want people to know that they can hang out. And I got to go. I see you, Harry. I know Harry's like 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Raven. This was wonderful. You have to come back. We have to talk more about this, because this is interesting and fascinating stuff. And I think this gives me good hope for the community when I see young people taking a stand and trying to bring us back to what we used to do. So, well, thank you, Raven.
Thank you.
I'll see you soon. All right, everybody. Have a good 4th of July tomorrow. Be safe. Don't be fools. What goes up comes back down, so be careful with all these fireworks. Enjoy it. I'll be back on Friday for Criminal Justice Insider with my good friend Jeff Grant. And in the meantime, in between time, keep the wheels turning.